Did you know that private foundations can support projects that include lobbying? There's a common misconception that IRS rules make it too complicated for foundations to do this, but that's simply not true. Boulder Advocacy is here to tell you that private foundations have a secret weapon that allows them to safely invest in a public charities project, known as the Project Grant Rule. When foundations use the Project Grant Rule, public charities can support their own programs. When public charities support their programs, they are one step closer to making policy change, including by influencing legislation and fulfilling their mission. When public charities are taking strides to fulfill their mission, society is better because of it. How does the Project Grant Rule work? First, the grantee must be a 501c3 public charity. Next, it's important to note the private foundation cannot be the only funder of the project. Funding can come from donations, from individuals, fees for services, grants from other foundations, and more. The grant funds cannot be designated or earmarked for lobbying. This means the grantee must create a project budget that forecasts the lobbying and non-lobbying costs. This credible budget projection is important, as the foundation's grant cannot exceed the non-lobbying amount of the budget. Lastly, the grant agreement does not need to prohibit lobbying. Keep in mind, the total project budget should be bigger than the funding being sought from the foundation. Essentially, the foundation is making a general support grant to the project. When the private foundation reviews the grantee's budget, they are looking at the project as a whole. This means the grantee does not need to show how it spends the foundation's particular grant funds. Remember, the Project Grant Rule is a private foundation's secret weapon. Don't be afraid to use it. For all things lobbying, visit boulderadvocacy.org.